The sun was beginning to dip behind the grandstands of Gavea, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. The air was thick with anticipation, but there was something else too, something heavier, something emotional. Everyone in the crowd knew this wasn't just another Grade 1 race. This was Frankie Dettori's final ride at the highest level. For decades, Frankie had danced across the biggest stages in horse racing. From Ascot to Dubai, from America to Europe, he had built a legacy that few could ever match. His flying dismount became iconic, his smile unforgettable, his courage in the saddle undeniable. But on this evening in Rio de Janeiro, at the historic Gavea racecourse, it wasn't about records. It wasn't about statistics, it was about goodbye. The horse beneath him, Get You Can, wasn't the favorite. In fact, most experts had already written him off. The bookmakers gave him little chance. He was labeled an outsider, a long shot in a race filled with champions. But Frankie had always believed in something more than odds. As he adjusted his reins and leaned forward in the saddle, memories must have flooded his mind. The thunder of hooves at Royal Ascot, the roar of crowds after unforgettable victories, the heartbreak of narrow defeats. A lifetime of racing compressed into a single breath. The gates flew open. The field burst forward like an explosion of power and color. Dirt kicked into the air as the horses fought for position. Frankie settled Get You Can comfortably at the back, calm, patient, watching. The leaders pushed hard, setting a fierce early pace. The crowd shouted, their voices echoing through the grandstands. It was chaos, speed, and raw adrenaline. But Frankie didn't panic. He had ridden thousands of races. He understood timing better than anyone. He waited. He trusted. As they approached the final turn, something shifted. Frankie gently nudged Get You Can forward. The horse responded instantly, as if he too understood the moment. They began weaving through rivals, gaining ground with every stride. The crowd started to notice. Dettori is coming! The roar grew louder with each powerful stride. The outsider was flying down the outside rail. Frankie's posture lowered. His hands moved in rhythm. It was poetry in motion, man and horse moving as one. Inside the final furlong, they were still a length behind. It seemed impossible, but Frankie asked for one last effort. And Get You Can gave everything. With heart, with courage, with fire, they surged past the leaders in the final strides. The finish line flashed beneath them. Silence. Then an explosion of sound. Gavea erupted. Frankie Dettori had done it again, against the odds, against expectations. In his final Grade 1 ride, he had delivered a masterpiece. As he slowed the horse down, emotion overwhelmed him. He patted Get You Can gently, whispering words only the horse could hear. His eyes glistened under the fading sunlight. When he performed his signature flying dismount for perhaps the last time at this level, the crowd stood on its feet. Some were cheering, some were crying. It wasn't just about winning. It was about a champion proving that greatness isn't measured only in trophies, but in heart, belief, and the courage to rise one last time. That night at Gavea, the outsider became a hero, and a legend took his final bow, not in defeat, but in glory. The roar of the crowd lingered long after the sun disappeared. Because some endings don't feel like endings at all. They feel like history,